Hey, aloha, offline sharks. How we doing, everybody? Some shakas coming your way. I gotta get in the frame. I was just getting a lesson on framing from David, and now I'm all over the place. Well, welcome to the live, everybody. We're super excited you are here. Yeah, pop in the comments. Let us know. Say hi. Hey, aloha, Kevin. Hey, Dorn. What's up, buddy? Man, we saw that post of the shark eating the. Did you see that in Skype, guys?
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Yeah.
A little aggressive for marketing, but I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just noticed I have an offline shark shirt on, and David has a little whale in the corner.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Point that out, Nick. Yeah.
I've got Nick's motto: 24/7, 365.
David, so there's a little inside joke going on in our community here about everybody razzing us about our shirts all the time. So just had to point that out.
Yeah, we always I'm always trying to pick shirts to wear, and yeah, pretty funny.
It's easy, man. Vineyard Vines, that's it. Vineyard Vines, done.
Yeah,
Vineyard Vines, really. I'll check those out.
Yeah,
I was almost thinking recently about going like the Chris Winters model, just having like one black shirt, a pair of sweatpants, joggers. But I decided against it. But I was just saying, it's convenient. I mean, you don't spend
I think everybody will approve of that one. Everybody.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's so funny about that is like what I wear, like not on the lives. Like I have like 4 or 5 of the same. Like I have 2 or 3 shirts. I have 4 or 5 of them, and I'm always just wearing those because it's like I don't have to think about it. I just grab them. I throw them. They're comfortable. I like them. But I always look like I'm wearing the same thing, except on the lives.
All right. Good stuff.
Well, good stuff.
Awesome. Well, sweet. Gabriel, aloha. Yes, Gabriel, I did sign up for the podcast magazine. I've been checking that out. Thank you for that tip.
Nice.
Dorn only wears tie-dye, so that's good. Well, listen, we're excited you guys are here. We roped David into coming and hanging out and answering some questions, talking about Digital Profit Machine as as you guys know, that special launch pricing just closed yesterday. And so, we've seen questions in the Facebook group, people commenting about things, David, lots of amazing feedback on the training. Inside. I've seen a lot of emails come into support that have said hey, I've had training on this before. This is the best I've seen. This is really great. So
awesome.
Awesome job on all that stuff. It was really killer.
To give everybody a little context on why we call it Digital Profit Machine and, what about the profits? Why is it called that? I think it's important everybody realizes that if you are stranded on an island and there's all types of psychological triggers that you have to be able to get conversions. And obviously with conversions come bigger profits. So there's scarcity, a great conversion strategy. There's authority, great conversion strategy, right? So there's all these really cool triggers that you can put in psychology in order to get better conversions. And one of the best conversion strategies you can have is what's called social proof. And that's where reviews come in. So you can literally do nothing more, no copy, no elongated pages, no more in the funnel, no better traffic. You can just literally add reviews, great reviews to your landing page, to your sales page, to your brand, and you will get better conversions. And we're seeing incredible stats saying, because we've almost had now almost 9 years of really good honed in scientific data that shows when you add a certain amount of reviews, you'll get better conversions. And obviously with better conversions come more profit for your business. So you can literally just add that. So when we thought about, what are we going to name this course? It's really all about profit. How can you make yourself more profitable? How do you make your customers more profitable? And the secret to doing that is just showing that you are the marketplace leader, that you are a business that is the most reputable to do business with. And we've done all kinds of studies and all kinds of actual case studies and surveys of saying, look, if you had these 3 things, if you had a business that had a really good discount, a business that was ranked number 1, or a business that was a 5-star business, which one would you do business with? And we've seen between 50 and 60% choose a business that's more reputable over a great offer and over someone that actually comes up first in the ranking. So, every stat we look at, every angle we look at, the more reviews you have, and you can never have too many, right? The more reviews you have, the more profitable you're going to be, because that is the key trigger that people are looking for, saying, does this really work? If I experience this, or I buy this, or I get this service, what type of experience I'm going to have. And when they see 5-star after 5-star after 5-star, that gives them the confidence that they can actually move forward because they're going to get that same experience. And so social proof is really king when it comes to conversion. So that's why it's digital profit machine. And that's why it's a simple process that you can help businesses build their online reviews, help them manage the reviews, respond to reviews, get their directory set up so they have a bigger reach in the marketplace. So yeah, I think overall, Tom, Nick, I'm super excited about this type of training.
Yeah, well, and it's so timely for what's going on right now because, like, reputation and doing those, like a lot of businesses, just like I think a lot of the digital marketing services before all this stuff happened, before the shutdown, before the pandemic, like so many businesses went, yeah, that's nice to have, but I'll just get to it someday.
Yeah,
I'll just deal with it then. And then all this stuff happens, and it was such a seismic shift for them, and like I think a wake-up call to businesses that, like, oh my God, this stuff isn't in order and it's hurting me, right? And my competitors who have these things in order or had them in place, like are just killing me because they're ahead of the game, right? And so, that's kind of what we were seeing in our agency. Like people just, they realize now, like, oh my gosh, I need these things, right? Like one of the things, here, let me show this real quick. Let me share my screen real quick because this is something that, just to kind of show this point, this is something that I saw just a few days ago, and it was
that's really small. Could you blow that up? Is there a way to zoom in on that?
Let me see.
There you go.
So this is something I saw a few days ago on a site called Nextdoor, and this is a guy who was like, basically he posted this. This was from Father's Day. It was like, look, to all residents who care, Kihei Cafe is packed for Father's Day. No mask, zero social distancing. And then he goes on to say some not nice things about these people that he's seeing, right? And so, this business is basically blindsided by this. And the reason that this really caught my attention is because I've had breakfast at this place a couple times in the past week. And I know that this particular comment is unfair to the business owner because this business, so the way that this business works is it's a small corner breakfast place. And like you go inside and you order, and then you come and you sit outside in the Maui sunshine across from the beach and you eat your breakfast. And so what this guy is seeing, like when people go in to order, they make you have to have a mask. They've got all the shields in place, like all the restaurants should have. But when you're outside of the building, you're not required to wear a mask. So I know that there's always a line when this place is busy outside. And so I'm almost positive this guy drove by, walked by. He saw all these people standing outside without masks on, even though they had masks on inside. And then he just assumes everybody's walking around without a masks. He posts this. Now this business owner, these are local business owners here. And, I'm sure they were kind of like blindsided by this. Like they're doing their best to follow the guidelines, to keep people safe, to keep their business going. And
what's interesting about that review is if you look down at the bottom here, the engagement.
Oh yeah.
Huge engagement. So this is picking up a lot of traction. And so what's most important about this is that the owner needs to be aware that he's got 10, 12, 15, 20 sites that people are responding to, and he needs to get an alert from this company or needs to set up his business in a way where he knows so that he can be the first one to comment. Because Tom, if he commented the way that you did of, hey, thank you so much for commenting. I want to let you know that we're not required to wear masks at all and everybody sits outside. And so, that type of thing. But you know what? I completely understand and take responsibility for the issue. That would completely alleviate this type of negative review. Like if someone didn't know the area as well as you did, they probably wouldn't go. So this guy's losing a lot of business because he's not responding to these reviews. So, really great insight there.
Yeah. I mean, it was, and what a timely thing to see. It was like, I was like, yeah, this is exactly why, this is one of the reasons Nick and I were so excited to, bring this training you put together out to people, because this is what businesses are dealing with. Right. And they really have, they were not good at responding to reviews anyway, because most businesses, they have no idea what to say. They don't even know where to start. They get in these matches where it's like, oh yeah, you're just a disgruntled employee, or oh, you've never been here. And it's like this horrible image of their business and them, and they really need help with this. And I think especially now, and this isn't going to go away as these, as these rules, regulations, and all those kinds of things stick around, it's going to continue to be this way for them. And so that's why we need you guys out there helping these business owners and showing them what to do. Right. All right. I'm going to stop sharing this.
So what I want to spend a few minutes on, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to get some questions, but before I'd like to do a quick overview of the model, because a lot of people maybe haven't been able to roll up their sleeves and get in. Could I share my screen and we do that real quick so I can show everybody high level what we should be doing? So let me click share my screen. And then I'm going to show you, can everybody see this?
Here.
I don't see your, oh, there you go.
All right. So I'm not going to look at everything. I'm just kind of going to go over this, but Nick and Tom, you guys can see the screen. Yes. Everybody in the chat box, can you see the screen? Okay, good. All right. So let me just take about 2 or 3 minutes to go over this so you can see, because I call this a cash map strategy, which is really the high level view of what it looks like from beginning to end. So first of all, I want to welcome everyone to Digital Profit Machine's cash map strategy. And what I did is I took an overview of everything that you're learning inside the course of Digital Profit Machine, so you can have some clarity, because sometimes when you watch a training, you're in the trenches of kind of going step by step, and how does each module, how does each strategy relate to each other? So the first thing you want to do is pick a niche. I want to kind of zoom in here a little bit to the left so we can really focus on this. So pick a niche, and it doesn't matter what niche you pick. And I just want to kind of talk about that for a moment, because there's lots of niches. And the one thing I want everybody to understand is that every business needs these services, not one, not just dentists or not just restaurants, every business, attorneys, and you name it. So it doesn't matter what niche you pick. Now, my suggestion is, if you're going to pick a niche, you should be picking the ones that really desperately need your help today. And that has to do a lot with restaurants, those that are serving food, and contractors. Contractors today are crushing it, right? Their business is growing. They're doing unbelievable amounts of opportunity there. So I would start there if you don't have a niche to pick. But you know what? Pick a niche that you just love or you enjoy. Maybe it's the area you worked in. Maybe your family works in it. Maybe you just enjoy it. You want to learn more about it. So, but just pick a niche. So that's always step one, is not to be all things to all people in order to win just a few, right? Is become that experts. Because once you see it over and over again, right? A dentist, a dentist, a dentist, a dentist, a dentist, then you're going to feel very comfortable with that. So step one is just to pick a niche, any niche you want. And then step two is to select a service offering that you really want to market. So in module one, we talk about, two, top directory services. We go into great detail on that. Optimization services, we go into great detail on that. Reputation building services, go into great detail about that. And review response services. And the one thing I love about review response services is all these three that we talk about in great detail. And trust me, there is no stone unturned. So if you have a question on these three, we want to answer it. But to be transparent with you, if you watch the training, there shouldn't be any questions, or really very few, because it is so in depth. I mean, every detail of where to get the services, how much to charge, all that's in there. So if you watch the training and you have questions, let's answer them. But I want to make sure that you have watched the training, because that's the single greatest thing people do, is put a support ticket when the question is right there for you inside the training. But the one thing that you're going to see here is the residual service of a review response. Now, it's really critical you understand that nobody today responds to reviews. And in the training, I explain how to take a 1-star review and turn it into a 5-star review. And it all came from when we were actually visiting Savannah, Georgia, and we loved it. We stayed late, and my wife picked a hotel, and she picked a hotel with the last 2 reviews being 1-star reviews. And when she showed me what hotel we're going to stay in, I about freaked out. I'm like, what? I mean, I do reputation for a living. I'm like, do you not see these reviews, honey? And she began to explain, it's not the reviews, it's the response to those reviews. So I think it's really important we realize that the way that we respond to reviews is critical. And there's a psychology, and inside review response service training, I go into the deep psychology, or different psychology to responding to positive reviews versus negative reviews. And then I give you my review response template. This is my secret sauce. I've never revealed this publicly except in digital profit machine and how I outsource it and how you can make between $199 to $299 a month, depending on the service, of just literally copying and paste your way to success. So it's all in here, all laid out. All you're going to simply do is choose a response from column 1, response from column 2, response from column 3, response column 4, put it together, and you've got a perfectly original response every single time. So you can hire someone at $4 an hour to respond to reviews, and it's absolutely, the clients absolutely love it. So I give you the psychology in this step, very step by step. So those are all the services that we talk about that you can offer right now. Now, the next thing is to choose a strategy and what to market those services. So obviously everyone got a powerful software called Rep Finder, and Rep Finder does an amazing job of finding these leads for you. And it gives some incredible data. Some of the data shows you how many reviews they've had in the last 30 days, how many bad reviews they have, what percentage of negative reviews versus positive reviews. All this information is like gold because there's a lot of lead generation tools out there, but it's just crap information. And what I do is I show you secretly how to filter out all the noise and get to the businesses that desperately will say yes today to these 4 services we just talked about. And it's all found inside Rep Finder. Now, a few things about Rep Finder. It is built for, to be very clear on this, is built for US speaking countries. Does it work in Germany? Yes. Will it work in Spain? Yes. But non-English speaking countries are about 3 or 4 years behind when it comes to reviews and reputation. So they don't pay as much. So my strongest suggestion is market US English speaking countries with the Rep Finder leads. Now, the second is the secret message strategy. So my challenge to you right now is if you've gone through this training and you're here at the very end going through this cash map, should have already done the secret message. The moment you saw it, the moment you trained on it, you should have copy and pasted your way to success. So I give you a very secret message that literally gets dozens of leads every single month for us and all our customers that use this. And then the patron swap strategy. This strategy is gold. I've been using it for 7 years. Absolutely, the psychology behind this, what you say, I give you an entire script. You don't need technology. You don't need to be an expert. You can literally have 0 experience in marketing, 0 experience in sales, and crush it by following the patron swap strategy. So as I kind of zoom out here, you can see, first of all, we select a niche. Then we choose a service that we'd like to market, something that we really enjoy. Choose a marketing strategy that we want to implement. And then we've got a choice. With Rep Finder, we can send an email to contact people. And the secret message, we can post to social media. And then patron swap, we can call a business that we've done business with. And then here's our opportunity. 1, to offer a free offer. And that could be any of these services. You could literally, for a few bucks, go to the sites that we tell you to go to in the training, and you could give a free offer. You could do a one-time offer of setting up all their directories, a one-time offer doing optimization. And then your residual offer, which the best one that we show you in great detail, is the review response service. So I want to give everybody a quick overview of exactly what you've seen through the entire course so you can kind of see where you're at and the step-by-step process we've given you for success. So put your question in the chat box. We're happy to answer them, but I think that'll be really critical, kind of see this nice overview video of what you got in Digital Profit Machine.
Yeah, that was awesome, David. And by the way, so everybody knows this cash map is already inside your training. So when you log into Digital Profit Machine, if you scroll down to the very bottom, you'll see the cash map. There's a module that says cash map strategy, and this map is in there. So you already have it laid out. And yeah, it's super, super handy to have and a great reference point to go and see where you're at in the process and what you need to do next. And just at a quick glance, you don't have to continually go back through things.
Yeah, well, David made it a point to really, really over deliver with everything that's included inside of this members area. And I think that, you know, I mean, just a wealth of information when it comes to what we're talking about here. By the way, we have, you know, almost 300 people on this live. So just curious, and we're going to get into the questions in a second. Put a 1 in the chat box if you are a Digital Profit Machine member. Put a 2 if you have no idea what we're talking about. It'd be hard to believe, though. It'd be hard to believe. I want to see. I want to make sure everybody with us is on the same page, because, I mean, in my opinion, right? And I see all of that coming in now. We have the most incredible foot in the door for right now, right? For the current market. I mean, everything going on in the world. We're in this crazy time. Tom just showed you a screenshot of, I mean, that restaurant in particular. That's like the best restaurant here in Kihei. Like, if you've ever been there, and I know that David already mentioned in the comments, he's like, I love Kihei Cafe. That is like, I mean, if you come to Maui and you stay in Kihei and you don't eat at that place, like, you're missing out. So, you know, seeing a business like that, right? Like one of the best businesses in your area, you know, well-known, great reputation already, just out of the box, just getting their teeth kicked in right now with all this stuff going on. I mean, it's just this, that's the opportunity for us, right? For us as you know, digital consultants, agency owners, to come in here and solve this problem, right? Lead with value with these businesses. So I just wanted to kind of, you know, give my take on that a little bit, and also that, you know, just point out, you know, again, just how big of a situation we have going on right now in the world. And if you've ever done this type of thing before, like maybe you've looked at, you know, offering some sort of help with reputation services to businesses before, but that was then, right? Maybe you did, and maybe you had success, maybe you didn't, maybe you gave up, I don't know. But right now, this is now. And this is a different time than ever before for this specific and this unique service. So I just wanted to kind of, you know, pull that back in a little bit and kind of, you know, reiterate that, because I think it's so important with everything going on right now.
Yeah, well, I think, you know what, so I'm glad we're able to actually talk about the review response service, because we were kind of keeping that under wraps when we were doing all the promo stuff. But like, you know, when I was talking to people and I would tell them what the service was, almost all of them were like, oh my God, why did I not think of that? Like, this is like, that's one of the best things I've heard. And I was like, yeah, well,
that spreadsheet has been kept secret for 7 years. I've never shared that before with my customers. And so this is the first time. So by the way, some of it asked, where do we get that? It's in the training. So go to the training. It's in that module. So the fact that you're asking just let me know. Look, people will spend $20,000, $30,000 to go get a per year to get a degree that they only make $50,000, $60,000 a year. With online marketing services, you have the ability to build 6 figures pretty handily, especially in this market when the market is changed, the message is changing. So my strongest suggestion is you treat this like you just spent $20,000 or $30,000, not $27, right? And you spend the time going through it, not once, not twice, because in the trainings, I say, look, don't listen to this training once. Listen to it 2 or 3 times, because there's so much. I mean, they're short 10, 15-minute trainings, but they're jam-packed with the best information, not 2 or 3 hours worth of training, really simple, really easy. So go through the training and make sure you watch it over and over and over again till you really get comfortable with it, right? Super easy stuff. And everything is pretty much copy and paste. So if you can copy and paste, you can make money.
Yeah, well, and inside the training, there's a module that's like resources, digital profit machine resources. You can find the spreadsheet in there. And I also think we put it under the video in the training as well.
Yep.
But, you know, that's the dilemma we face when we put out courses like this, right? Like, I mean, David, obviously, you know the value of what we're sharing here. Nick and I know the value of what we're sharing here. And so, you know, when we were even putting this course together, you know, you have that dilemma, because sometimes, you know, when people pay $27 or something, they don't really appreciate what they have and the value that it can really bring to their life, right? And, and I think if it were, you know, if it were any other time, like if none of this stuff was going on, you know, this definitely would not be a course that we would have, you know, released at that low of a price, because it's super, you know, all the things in there, the software, the, you know, the spreadsheet, all the things in there are super, super valuable. So I guess what I'm trying to say to you guys is, like, you know, try to not think about how little you paid for it, and really like appreciate what's in there, the strategies, the thought processes behind there. Because even though it walks you from not really knowing anything about this to be able to do it, like, there's a lot of advanced things layered in there as well. And like David said, you know, if you start implementing some of these things, then go back and watch those videos again, you'll probably be like, oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
Or, oh, there's the answer to the problem I was running into. Like, because, you know, sometimes when you're not doing these things, you don't really, you know, so you hear something and it just doesn't register because you're not, you know, it's not relatable at the time. But when you go back, you'll definitely see that.
So guys, with my clients, I always tell them this: your learning is on the other side of doing. It is not before. Attending another webinar, attend another training, that might give you some nice little ideas, but everything that you need to go make a lot of money is in Digital Profit Machine. I mean, everything. It's all there for you. And a few questions are coming in here like, David, when will the market be saturated? It will never be saturated. You know why? Because there's 53,000 new businesses opening up every single month. There's 27 million businesses just in the United States right now, and every single one of them need this service. And if you go, and I challenge you right now, go to Google, type in Dentist Atlanta, Dentist Dallas, and take a look at the reviews and tell me how many businesses are responding to reviews. Like 1 out of 100, 2 out of 100. And you know what the responses are? Thank you, or I really appreciate you. I mean, it's just like a little nod, head nod. It's not the psychology that turns. And so let me explain the psychology for a minute, because I think this is really important. Because so for those of you that haven't taken the time to get in here, when someone leaves a positive review, realize what they're leaving. These are the best clients. These are the best prospects. And they're saying, we love you. And what are we doing? Nothing. Or we're saying, thank you. I mean, you know what happens when Tom and Nick find someone that says, thank you so much. You know what they do? They upsell them into something else, right? Because every single one of our opportunities is taking that 5-star customer. And when they love us so much, they're going to love more of what we have for them. So what I find completely crazy is that someone will leave a 5-star review. So here's the psychology. 1, appreciate them. So our first sentence is appreciation. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you pointing that out. 2 is tell them the commitment we have. The commitment of what we're doing. Hey, we're so committed to our customers. We know that you've got a great, you had a great experience. But you know what the last thing we do in our written response? A call to action. And I'm telling you, 0 businesses do this. When I got a 5-star client on the line that says they love what we do, we say, look, join our Facebook group, get on our email list, call us, and let's do something special for you. They're missing that call to action at the end of every review response. But think of that for a moment. We're just not responding. See, this whole psychology of responding to reviews is never, and let me say this again, never, I'll say it one more time so you get it, never respond to the reviewer. Always respond to the person that's going to read the review.
It's gold.
So,
it's gold
yeah, so think of that for a moment. We told the reviewer, hey, call us, contact us. We'll do something special for you. Thank you so much. And for those of you that go, wait, David's rewarding people for leaving reviews. No. I'm rewarding for people that have left a review. I'm not incentivizing them to leave a review. Remember, they've already done something for a company. So it's okay to reach out and go like, hey, thank you so much. Give us a call. Let us know. Join our email list. Follow us on Facebook, right? But think of what's happening to the people that read how I'm responding to those 5-star clients. Wow, this business really appreciates their customers. This business really wants to do more for great customers. Wow, I love this business. This is great. Look how engaged they are with everybody that leaves a review. They're appreciating them. They're committed to service. They're asking them to follow up so they can do more for them. So put one in the chat. Does everybody get that? Does that make sense? This is game changing. And so when I explain this to a business, they go, oh, this is awesome. Yes, I want that. And they go, oh, crap, I got to do that psychology. I got to follow that. You know, it's almost like saying, look, you could paint this beautiful picture. Now here's a piece of paper and a crayon. Go for it. They're like, I can't do that. Can you do that for me? So just by explaining the strategy, the similar to what I've explained to you, they're gonna reach in and go, please do this for me. But it's even better with negative reviews, because the first thing that every negative review person does when they leave a negative review and they respond, they're responding to the reviewer.
I always read the
I know. Yeah, exactly.
And that's it. Almost always is like the major influence that makes my decision. It's a good point. When you
respond to the reviewer, it's always defensive. There's some defensive, like, listen, like, are you sure? Well, we didn't really do it that way, or that's not really the way we did it, or But no, you never do that. You have to take ownership and responsibility. But step one, there's actually a next step before that. And that's thank them for their honesty and transparency in revealing the problem to you. Mm-hmm. Who does that? No one does that. But when you take ownership of like, hey, thank you. And then you say, look, we're going to correct this. And then you reaffirm your commitment. But the last thing you do is a call to action, ask them to contact you so you can make it right. So two completely psychologies between good reviews and bad reviews. When you explain it to a business owner, it's going to make sense, just like it's making sense to you guys right now. Like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. It's going to make sense to them, but they're not going to know how to do it. And that's why I've given you the review response template. So you can do it yourself in just a few minutes. But more important, you can outsource it and you can collect $200-$300 a month over and over and over again and have someone else completely do it. That's why Digital Profit Machine is so powerful for you. So that's just one of multiple strategies we give you.
Yeah, I think, and just so you guys know, this, like what we're doing right here on this Facebook Live, right? This is, we're just hanging out. This is just a Q&A, chance for you guys to come, talk with us about, Digital Profit Machine strategies, what, exactly what David's sharing with you now, sharing the inner workings of what has gone into, creating this. And I know that, a few of you are asking about if it's recorded. I mean, it's in the Facebook group, so it'll be there forever. And somebody else ask, I lost the comment too, about building more reviews and automation. We're going to go over that a little more tomorrow too. So if you're, we've taught you everything, how to do it all in Digital Profit Machine. But tomorrow in our training, we're going to talk a little bit more about ways you can speed things up. So if you're looking for that, just join us tomorrow. But today, with your questions that you have, put those in the chat, and then we can just start kind of going through those.
Yeah, and I would, I think another great point David made is that, you have everything you need to start taking action and getting clients inside Digital Profit Machine, right? Like the, a lot of times people have asked us over the course of launch about, using the 3 additional cities and all that stuff. And like Nick and I don't use those. Like we've never had to use those. There's so many businesses where we're at that need our help that, it's going to take us a while to get through those. So I know like sometimes when you get a training in a course, your first thought is like, how can I make this super big? Like, how can I really pull in the big money, which is a great goal to have, but like you have to start somewhere, and you start by getting your first client, and then you get your second client. Like it's great to have that big vision, and it's awesome to do that. But like a lot of times what we find we have to tell people is like, you got to scale back. Like if you're sitting there and you don't have any clients right now, let's just focus on getting our first couple. Like, let's not worry about what we're going to do when this is the thing that happens to us, David. We'll teach something, some strategy. And then somebody will say like, yeah, but what do you do when you have 100 clients? It's like, well, you worry about that problem when you have 100 clients. Yeah. You don't worry about it before you have 1 client.
And we've got strategies for that. That's easy. You have 100 clients. It's easy just to manage 1 client as 100. You just have to know how to do it. So
yeah. It also sounds like a pretty good problem to have.
Yeah, a great problem to have. So Saeed is asking, so many businesses want to bundle SEO, social media marketing, reviews, response, but it sounds like you're saying provide just review response. So what I'm saying is this is a service. So you could bundle if you wanted to. But what I'm showing you is, see, what I used to do, this is a great question, Saeed. I used to put reputation services in with SEO services. And what happened is I had this big aha moment where I saw some negative reviews, but I didn't think it was affecting their SEO until their calls dropped dramatically. And so I didn't put the two together. And the next client, when I proposed my SEO services, it was this total freak accident. I was like, well, I see some negative reviews here. We can start, but we definitely got to get these reviews. So he's like, okay, so you'll charge me $1,200 for the SEO services, and it's $1,200 for the reputation services to help my reviews out. And I said, yeah, I guess. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay. And I was like, oh, wait, hold on. Like it was like this aha moment. And that's when my whole life shifted to realize how powerful reputation is, because people see when they buy themselves on the product. People don't see themselves in SEO. They don't see themselves in PPC. That's all about money. But when someone says something personally negative about your baby, the hard work that you've put in for 60, 70 hours a day, that you've neglected your family and your friends and your personal time to really build this business. Someone says something negative, that's personal. And they will do anything. They will move mountains to get that stuff changed. So separate review services from SEO. Now, I'm not saying you can't bundle that together, but don't add it to it as like, here's a check little box feature. This is a separate line item. Review response is a separate line item. Does that make sense, Saeed? So great question, but I appreciate you bringing that out.
David, I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm gonna share my screen real quick because I just got this from Eric this morning, and he used everything in Digital Profit Machine, set up 2 calls, and he's doing that exact thing. Essentially set up a review demo to lead into SEO and Google My Business, and you know, all from, you know, what we shared with Digital Profit Machine. That was just this morning. So, I mean, that's a pretty awesome win to see somebody come in, Digital Profit Machine. And I know there are tons of people that have already done this. You know, that product was only just released like 4 days ago. So to just, you know, give you an example of, you know, somebody getting in there, taking action, and getting results quick. I mean, and exactly the thinking and the strategy that you had, David, with the SEO. I mean, I also thought that way as well.
So here's another angle towards that. So everybody, it's really important you write this down, because I'm just going to rip through it really quick. There's only 2 types of services you sell. They only fall into 2 categories. One is activity-based, and the other is results-based. So everybody in the chat box, tell me, what is SEO, activity or results-based? What do you think that is? Activity or results? What do you think? Yeah, it's results-based, right? They want to see them ranking. They want to see that traffic. They want to see calls coming in, right? It's results-based. So here's the secret of how I turned my entire business around and how we're able to make Inc. 500 and Inc. 5000's fastest growing companies. It was, I led with activity-based. And if you don't know this, it's okay, but just like 1 + 1 = 2. Never lead with results-based unless you're very experienced. If you've got results-based services and you know you can get those results like that, then that's great. But if you're first starting out and you lead with results-based, here's what I can guarantee you. They will never buy anything from you again until those results are proven to them.
Such a good point. Such a good point. And for me, I mean, it hits home because, you know, when I was just getting started, I started out doing SEO. But
yeah, me too.
But my websites were really the thing that, you know, got me started, because I would build the website and then I'd hand it over, and then they'd be like, okay, well, what next? And I'd be like, oh, well, now I have all these other things for you. But that's an activity service, right?
It's activity service. Yeah. So lead with activity services. So when he was asking the question about, well, they want this bundled together. Yeah, but you know what? You'll never sell anything else. And you got all this work to do. But when you lead with activity of like review response, it's check. I responded. And now you've got trust, you've got authority, you're liked, they see you're doing a great job, right? And now you can sell your big result services for even better profit margins because you have that rapport. You're not in a competitive situation where they're comparing you versus 6 other SEO people, or you versus 6 other PPC or Facebook ad people. So hopefully that makes sense. Great question came in.
It warms my heart to hear you say that, David, because I've been harping on this in trainings we've been doing. Because I'm like, look, if you're new, like, stop trying to tell them you're going to get them 50 clients. Like, you don't even know if you can do that. Like, do something where when you do the service, like social media management's a good example, right? Like, they can see you posting responses and stuff, just like the review thing. So it's like activity based, like so key. Sorry, Nick, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Go ahead.
Oh, it comes back to the expectation, and it really transcends into so many things, right? Because if you're, you know, say you get caught by some shiny object online saying, you know, make a bunch of money doing SEO, and most times, most SEO trainings will teach you to go sell SEO before you really get the results for yourself. But those of you that have tried that know firsthand that trying to sell something without having those results yourself, it just, your confidence is like, you have none, right? It's so hard to sell something for thousands of dollars per month, or, you know, whatever people claim that you should sell it for. And you're like, hey, can you pay me $1,000 per month for this thing I've never even done for myself? I'm not sure that I can do. Like, that's why a lot of people don't make those sales, right? Because that lack of confidence. So when you get into something like this, when you get into responding to reviews, activity-based, like what David is saying, it's the expectation from your customer is like, oh, well, when there's a bad review, this person is going to respond for me. And when you do it, they're happy. You've met that expectation. And then they're happy to pay you and continue to pay you. And, you know, that's how you build this relationship with these business owners. So such a good topic.
Frederick's asking, do you have tips on getting past info at barrier and the front desk at certain niches, dentists, attorneys? Yeah, it's called picking up the phone, right? So here's the thing. And I don't, I give you a very secret strategy called the patron swap strategy. I give you the script, the words. I don't ever have these issues at all because hopefully you can see I've got confidence and passion in what I do. And you'll get that too, but maybe not from the very first day. So you want to start out with the patron swap strategy. And the patron swap strategy is a powerful strategy that 100% of the time you get to a decision maker. I've never, well, let me say 99% of the time you get to a decision maker. Every once in a while you can't. But because you come with a certain script and a certain angle, they will always talk to you. Because you have something that every business owner wants, they're going to pick up the phone. I've literally had business owners get out of meetings to talk to me because I call them up reading this patron swap script. It's the most powerful thing that I've created in marketing, and it works all the time. It gets you right past the gatekeeper, right to decision maker, and then you simply just make your offer. But it's all about positioning psychology. So if you want to, and by the way, I'd say first start off before you get Lead Finder and you start starting emails and setting up a Gmail account and sending out all that stuff and getting into the technology, just follow the patron swap strategy. Just follow the secret message. You can learn those strategies in under 10 minutes, and they take minutes to implement, and you can have tremendous amount of success with that. So if you're worried about how getting past the gatekeeper, think about the patron swap. And by the way, those that want to focus on email marketing, I send out over, I shouldn't say but we send over 2 million emails a month, cold email. So I have a little bit of expertise on cold email marketing. So understand this, that your relationship with success, your relationship, your success depends on your relationship with one simple number: how many conversations you have. See, this is not e-com. This is not affiliate marketing. This is local. And when we're doing local, people buy from people. So if you think you're going to push a few buttons, get some emails out, people are going to buy your services, that is the wrong thinking. People in local want to have a relationship and a connection point to other people. And that's why affiliate marketers, you make 10%, 4% on Amazon. And that's why we make thousands of dollars as local marketers for one client, is because we're communicating with people. So, but the thing is, we're not selling, we're just giving, we're helping, we're serving, we're helping them grow. So I have a completely different thought process of, yes, email marketing is important, but what's more important is you picking up the phone and having a great conversation and helping, giving, and leaving people with more value than what you take. And that's what Digital Profit Machine is all about. You can see tremendous amount of value that you can give in just minutes by explaining these processes, explaining how to respond to reviews, telling them that, you know what, you've got 32 reviews on Google. I'm going to respond to the first 10 at no cost for you just to help you out. I see 2 negative reviews, right? But then you can say, look, but if you want to learn how to build your reviews and get those bad reviews down out of the first 10, well, that'll be $199, and I can give you a process to do that. So, you know, any which way you want to create it, you can. But just know it's not about email marketing. It's about you having conversations with business owners to help serve them.
Easy conversations.
Yeah,
these are easy conversations, I might add, because some of the conversations that a lot of you are used to or have had before with business owners aren't very easy. But when you talk about something like this, it's easy because it's there, right? It's in public. Everybody can see it. You can point this out to them, and it's easy to point out the problem. And here's your solution, and it makes sense.
So Barbara's asking about how to approach businesses are slowly reopening. So first of all, yes, Barbara, I think it's really important that businesses that are slowly reopening in this market, you got to realize that probably 60% of the businesses aren't on the top 20. So what does top 20 mean? Well, different industries mean different things, right? So, you know, you get a medical doctor that's not on, you know, ZocDoc, or he's not on some medical listings, right? So one of the services you can help them do is say, look, I want to help you set up in the top 20 listings for the medical. And if you don't know what that is, it's really easy. Go to Google and type in top 20 directories for dentists, top 20 directories for, in Canada for, landscapers. And you can easily find that information. It doesn't have to be top 20. It can be top 15 if you want to, right? The point of it is that if they're reopening, people are online now, and they're more online than they've ever been, and they're looking for new services. They're looking for that. The retail company that sold sportswear is now shut down. So now they're going online to find out, but they're on Yelp, or they're on Dexnos, or they're on, Yellow Pages, or they're on, another directory looking for that. But that company's not there, so they're never going to be found. So step one is make sure that every business is on all the top 20 directories. And then step two is to optimize those listings with images, with hours of operation, with those things, with optimizing their description and doing that. And that's going to really help those businesses when they open up to get a much better reach. And they're out in the marketplace. Then obviously the next thing to do is saying, hey, now you got those directories set up. Let's get some reviews on them. And now that you got some reviews, now let's respond to some reviews. So does everybody see how that works? I mean, it all works so well together. They just complement each other. And by the way, when it comes to reputation, we're only tipping the iceberg. And this next training we're going to do, I want to show you how to get $1,000 a month, not just a few $100s a month, and the big scope of what reputation is and how it all works. But this is just a fraction. So if you jump in now and you really get a hold of this, you're going to love what we train you on the next day or two.
Yeah. And if you guys picked up Digital Profit Machine, you should already be registered. You should have got a confirmation for the register for that webinar. If not, we put a link in one of the emails just to make sure you're registered. Nick, do we have a link for people that maybe might not be in DPM?
There it is.
Perfect. Yeah. So if you want to show up, we're going to do that training tomorrow at 3 p.m. David's going to be running. That's going to be awesome. So just go to offlinesharks.com/bonus call.
Yeah, that's one I'm really excited for. I mean, obviously you guys, you've been checking out all the awesome content in Digital Profit Machine, and we're just going to show you a little bit more. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, well, I mean, just think about all the value that we just dropped. Like, we've been on here for an hour, right? Like, I mean, we talked about so many nuggets in this just 1 hour. Like,
somebody said
right? Just off the cuff. We didn't even have a plan.
So one of the Facebook users is asking, so how do I fix bad reviews myself if the customer replies that? Well, that's what you do. So you help them. The best thing you can ever position yourself is someone that helps serve them first. See, people buy when they see themselves in the product. That means you're going to tell their story, not, hey, I can fix your problem. Hey, there's an issue. Tell their story. And their story is, hey, you've got some reviews. I'm willing to sit down with you and I will show you the psychology of exactly how you respond to reviews. Now, that psychology that you'll go through, and if you just model what I just said to you in the training, previously in this training, would take you about 10 minutes. So you have 10 minutes of being the authority to them. But then what you can do is take the spreadsheet and then copy a few, create a few responses and say, look, I want to give you a few examples that you can model too. And you can do all this yourself. But, we typically charge $3.99 a month to respond to reviews. But you know what? Because of what's going on, if you'd like us to do this for you, every month we'll do it for $99 a month. Now, you don't think they're going to say yes to that? But again, you have to tell them the value. So when they say, this Facebook user saying, when I get a reply from a customer saying, how can I fix my bad reviews? What should the reply be? You say, I'd like to sit down with you and show you exactly how you can respond to those reviews. We have a secret psychology that turns 1-star reviews into 5 stars. When do you have some time? It takes about 15 minutes to explain it to you. And then you can be off and running. And by the time you sit down and explain it to them, you got them hooked.
Yeah, that's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, we got more questions coming in?
Yeah, let's see. Yes, drop your questions in the chat. We got a whole bunch.
No, we're not gonna just. I saw somebody's question about Larry. No, we're not gonna talk about local analyzer.
Yeah, that's a special bonus.
That was a bonus from one of the people that promoted this. It was. Is there a document for performing a business audit for all the services? So Dennis, we don't have that document inside Digital Profit Machine. Like, we wanted to keep, one of the things Nick and I talk about, like, and you'll notice this in the training that David put together, is like, Nick is always talking about the circle of focus and how the circle of focus needs to be really tiny. And he's always telling this to me because I'm like, I want to like go big, you know, I'm like, oh, let's get this, let's do that. And he's like, Tom, circle of focus always has to be really tiny. So, you know, when you're going through the training, like keep your circle of focus small, like actually implement some of the things we talk about, do the patron swap, send out the seat, like do that first. And then then worry about increasing all that stuff out. Right. So we kept the training very tight for circle of focus so that you know, we want to try to keep you from not getting distracted. So that's why we don't have those kinds of things in there. Because we stay focused, circle of focus.
The training is meant to go in order. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3. That's the way you do it.
Hey, you know what? I love the ambition, right? But like I said, your success isn't based on how ambitious you are. It's how well you can execute. And if you really, here's the thing, if you want the next level of success, then that's only, you should give that to yourself because you went to the first level of success, right? So don't say, hey, I want second and third level without going to the first one. Prove to yourself that you take the next step, because if you can go through and you follow the process that we're doing, it's just copy and paste. You get a few clients, you're going to be rocking and rolling, ready to go, and you'll be ready for the next one. But so many of us, and I've seen this, Nick and Tom, so many times, everybody's like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And then overwhelm sets in, right?
Yep.
And then everybody gets, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then they start working here and working there, and it never does. So that is so critical, Nick, that you point that out, is we gave you a very specific plan. And we know who the great, more successful entrepreneurs are going to be, is those that get through all 5 chapters and literally with the next 72 hours start implementing them. And then we know by the end of the week, you're going to have success, just like Nick showed you how that person had success and so many others are having it, because their learning is on the other side of doing. It's not showing up to another webinar or training. Yeah,
well, you know, it's great to hear you say that, because, you know, I'm always telling people, like, it's really easy to look at Nick, to look at you, David, to look at myself and think like you need to have all these, because we have a lot of stuff going on. We have big agency, right? So it's easy to think you need all these things, but like we didn't start that way. Like it's been a process of becoming, and it's like, and we did exactly what you said. We got to the first step, we got our first client, we got our first 5 clients, and it like we just built on each thing as you go by. And I mean, that really is the key to making all this work, right? It's not just jumping to the like, and I don't even know you could jump to the end. Like I mean, how would you even do that? Like if we showed you everything involved in our agency, you would get so overwhelmed, right? You'd be like, oh my God, if you had no clients, you'd be like, there's no way I could do this, because you don't have the money to hire a team. You don't have it, like, right? So like, you got to take each step along the way. And that's what's great about Digital Profit Machine, is that's the first step, right? That'll get you to take those first steps so that you can move to the next level and then continue on.
Jack, oh, go ahead.
I got a question that I was wanted to ask you. Found a good one. So, any way to position the patron swap even if they're not a patron?
Oh yeah, 100%. So this is for quadriplegics. So if you're for a quadriplegic and you can't get out of the house, and you're like, look, I don't go to the doctor, I don't go to the dentist, right? I don't do any of that stuff. I just got to stay home. I'm in a wheelchair type of thing. Here's what I know you have. You have a mom, and you have a dad, and you have a friend, an uncle, and aunt. So here's what I do. And this is what I did. I called my mom. I'm like, hey, Mom, how you doing? She's like, oh, good. How you doing? I said, look, I could really use your help. I'm opening up a new reputation division, and I'm about to launch a really cool service that we've cracked the code on helping businesses during this really difficult time. And obviously I didn't say difficult time because that was a while back. And I said, but here's the secret. Before I spend time and money with businesses I don't know, I'd like to help businesses that have helped you, Mom. Mom, what's a dentist that you've worked with that's done a really good job? Mom, what's a spa that you've worked with a really good job? Mom, and then she goes, oh, work with Dr. Smith. And I go, oh, what'd you like about Dr. Smith? And I write it down. And I call up Dr. Smith. I do the exact same patron swap, but instead of saying I was a customer of yours, I said, my mom told me what a great job you did with her. And so I like to do something really special for you. And I follow the script.
That's so solid. What do you guys think about that? Show David some love in the chat if that was a huge value bomb. That's crazy. That's such. I didn't even think about that. I never would have thought about that.
So you can do the pay. Listen, we have people in our mastermind. I have this whole track where we do the patron swap every single 90 days. Like it's always because 90 days you're using different services, right? So, and I tell people, look, you got a dentist that doesn't appreciate you, get them out of there. If they don't want if they're not going to think about using your services, go find another dentist that will use your services, right? I mean, that's the whole idea of this. That thought process, like, oh wow, I want to start using companies that want to use my services. And so technically speaking, you should have a lot of companies, like 15, 20 companies, 20 restaurants, whatever, because you visited them, right? You're patroning them. Patron the businesses you want to work with, and then ask them to work with you. And that's the biggest win-win and the easiest opportunity you've got.
Yeah, I've seen people blowing up the chat box.
People that didn't pick up Digital Profit Machine all of a sudden want it. Funny.
Side says, David, that's very Inception. From Inception. That like, yeah. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So again, that's why I'm saying that strategy alone. I've literally done $200 trainings, and I go, really. I mean, obviously, it's a much deep training. We do a lot of accountability coaching in that, but that's inside this $27 product. I mean, that alone. And by the way, these strategies I teach you, you can use for any product, any service. I'm just showing them how to apply to the ones we're showing you. But once you get out of learning this, these are yours. No one takes them away from you. You can apply them over and over to your current services you're using. So Digital Profit Machine is worth it just for those strategies alone, those 3 powerful strategies, and be able to tell their story, be able to do secret message, be able to do patron swap. All are going to crush it for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, man, listen, if you guys, if you're not a DPM member, you should register for the call we're going to have tomorrow to get more great stuff like this. David's going to be hanging out with us for an hour or two. You guys are going to love it. Just go to offlinesharks.com bonus call. For all of you that picked up Digital Profit Machine, like Nick, David, myself, we're super grateful. We really appreciate you trusting us. We're excited to be able to come on here and provide some more insight and value to you. And we really want to hear about, what you're doing with the, like, don't just stick it on your computer and go on to something else. Like, implement those things that David said, like, Matt, just like set some time in your schedule this week to be like, okay, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to do the patron swap. On Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to do the secret message thing. And then, post about it in the Facebook group. Let us know what happened. And maybe we can give you some tips, some feedback, some things to get better. So,
hey, I know a lot of people haven't gone through it, but is there anyone on the call right now that has actually got some success that they just put me in the chat box, or I've got success? I just like to give you a shout out for being an action taker, being a grant starter. Again, I know some of you just got it, so you haven't had time to implement, but is anybody just put that in the chat box, and we just want to give you a quick shout out to you.
Yeah. Dorn said he got 553 leads scrubbed during this webinar.
Wow.
He's excited. Dorn is like, he's getting ready, David. So we have these different levels in our community. We start at baby shark, and you go to megalodon shark, and Dorn is about to become a megalodon. Like, he has been freaking crushing it. So
that's awesome.
Great results.
Jacqueline saying, it's too early for me yet. Ask me tomorrow. Jacqueline, that is the right response. I can tell you're going to crush it, because most people would say, too early yet, ask me next week. But she's saying, ask me tomorrow. So I will, Jacqueline. You join us on the training tomorrow, where I'm going to show, look, tomorrow's training, I want to open up a Pandora's box. It's going to blow your mind. If you like what you've heard the last hour, you will love tomorrow, because we're just tipping the iceberg here of the opportunity. And then tomorrow, I'm just going to let it all. I'm going to reveal everything that we do, and you're going to absolutely love it.
Yeah, Jacqueline is another one of our sharks that's been taking action. And actually, she got her first clients, I think, during all of this stuff. Like, she hadn't gotten any clients before everything happened. She's in the UK, which was really strict. And then she started getting clients even in the midst of all this, which is like really awesome to see. So way to go, Jacqueline. All right, awesome. Anything else you guys want to add or go over before we wrap up this live?
Thanks for hanging out with us, David, and all of you sharks for hanging out with us as well. I I did mention when I posted this event that I was going to give away some money in the Cash App to some of the most engaging members. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have someone on our team go back through the feed of comments and figure out who those most engaging members are. So keep an eye out. If that was you, if you've engaged with us, you've commented, you've put questions, those are the people that, we like to hang out with because it makes our lives and everything so much better. And, keep an eye out because we're going to be sending you some money. And keep that in mind for the next training that we have or whatever live that we're doing, because we like to do that type of thing. I see a bunch of people already throwing their cash tags at the bottom of the
people have gotten Cash App crazy since we rolled that out. They're like, yeah, this is the best.
But yeah, keep that in mind, you guys. We like to do some giveaways and stuff, and we do them regularly. And yeah, again, David, thank you so much for hanging out with us and sharing your knowledge. I mean, it's been tremendous.
By the way, is it closed?
Like and love on the video.
Is it closed for everyone that because I know it closed last night, but for your members, because you guys created it, is it done? So because I see a lot of people I got to get this. Is it done? Yeah, it's done. Okay. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah. Well, so, we have to be respectful, right? We told everybody the price is going up to $197 and we have to be good on our word. So it is. And so when we say, hey, the price is going up, you guys, we really mean it. The training is worth thousands of dollars. $197 is well worth it. I saw somebody in the chat just a second ago that said that patron swap strategy should be worth $2,000 by itself. There's several of those strategies in that training. When David was putting all this together, we spoke many times and he was like, man, this is some of my best stuff. And that, you guys, this is real world stuff. So I don't, you guys are getting a tremendous value out of it, even at the current pricing. So yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We'll see everybody on the call tomorrow. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern, right, Nick?
Yes, yep. 3 p.m. Eastern. And also, by the way, if you sell one of those review response services, you will easily pay back your price to get into that membership. So look at it that way, right? Just one customer that you would take action with would easily pay back the price of that membership and probably unlock a whole lot of other potential in your business.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. The value's there. So awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Aloha, everybody.
Yeah, you guys, God bless. Bye-bye.